Okay, now we need to create the refresh big basket function. So if we copy the name of the function, let's scroll up and create this function right after refresh small basket so that they all close to each other. Okay, function refresh big basket. Inside of this function, we start with the Ajax call. Curly braces. Okay, and semicolon right at the end. Now URL will be /mod/basket view.php, then comma, data type will be HTML, comma, success function data, which we get from this function, then comma, error, colon, function. We can use data, we can just leave it, but let's put it in. And then alert, which will simply say exactly the same thing as before, which is error occurred. Okay, so that's all fine. Now inside of the function, what we're going to do is, as you may remember, we wrapped our basket inside of the big basket div with the ID of the big basket, so we're going to use it here. So we want to replace the current basket with the new one, which will be passed after this function, this Ajax statement has been executed. It will be passed to the success call, and we will be able to replace it with a new one. Now after this, because what's happening with all these Ajax calls, after we get this content, we load it inside of this big basket and div, this content over there, the replace content will be just like a virtual content. Basically, it hasn't been loaded with the page together with a page. It's just replaced because obviously we're using Ajax. Now, it's only a static kind of version of the content, which means after we've replaced this, after this Ajax call has executed and we got this success data back and replaced this existing basket with a new one, we won't be able to actually change anything, which is what I'm going to demonstrate you later on as well, once we finish with all these files. Basically, if you click and change the quantities after the first call of the Ajax, nothing's going to change. That's why we have to actually call all the bindings again, which means we have to assign all the bindings, and we're going to do this by calling our init binds function, which we've created earlier, which will basically assign all these. If we try to, where's this function? It's here. We have to bind these clicks and key press back to the element which has been loaded inside of this div container. So that's our refresh big basket function finished. Once, as I said, once we are done with all this, I'll show you exactly what I meant when we comment this init binds, and I'll show you actually what's happening if we won't use these bindings again. But that's basically everything with our JavaScript for now. We need to create our basket view PHP inside of the MOD folder, as well as the file called basket quantity.php, in order to obviously populate these quantities and refresh both of these baskets. Okay, so that's the subject for the next video. So let's move on and start working with these PHP files.